welcome back to another episode of Easy Eats. I'm your host, Jason LaFrenz, and today on the show we are going to make one of my favorite pasta sauces, Alfredo, but we're going to use seafood instead of chicken. So it's the same sauce I make for my chicken tetrazzini, chicken Alfredo, or seafood Alfredo. So it's very simple. Today, since the pandemic is in full force here, food isn't amongst, as vibrant as it usually is this time of year. But I got some scallops and that need to be cooked, and then we're going to use some shrimp and some mussels. Let's go with a half a stick, and we're going to melt that. I got a sweet onion that I use. So finally chop up the onion. There we go. A little bit of onion in there. So this is a liter. I'll put in half a liter. It'll be enough to feed my family for tonight. And I just use a little bay scallops, tiny little ones. Okay. So I got some parsley. All right. So I'll finally chop up some parsley. Yeah, I'll probably use a half a cup of parsley. So this is starting to get nice and warm now. The steam is coming off it. So I know it's getting close to boil time. So I'm going to put in my scallops. That'll drop the temperature down a bit. Now they'll cook in the sauce for about 20 minutes. I'll let it go. And like I said, I'm not letting it bubble. I'm just letting it simmer. So you want it below probably medium heat depending on your oven. So a quarter cup to half a cup. It doesn't really matter. And that's going to melt and thicken the sauce up a bit. I take a little bit of fresh PARM and I just grate that into the... And as I go through the cooking process, I may add a little bit more, I might take it a little away. It all really is by taste. Just one quick thing, I don't put my cooked seafood in until around the end process, because I find if you put it in now while these scallops are cooking, it's going to get really chewy, all right, because you're going to really overcook the seafood. So if it's already pre-cooked, I add it at the very end if I was you guys. Oh, did you see that? Did you see how many times I almost caught it and didn't?
Here. What was that?
Add a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more of salt to the water. Season your water is really important. And actually season the salt too, but I haven't seasoned that yet because we're using seafood, and there's a lot of salt I find just normally in seafood. So sometimes I find if I salt and peppered my sauce and then add the seafood in, I'm like, oh, it's a little salty. So I like to add all my seafood in first. That's just my preference. I could be right, I could be wrong. Okay. So chives, if you can grow these at home, do it, because they're very, very easy to grow, and they'll keep coming back to the point where it might drive you nuts. My pasta is ready to boil. It's boiling, so I'm going to throw in my pasta. I'm going to give this a stir. I got some shrimp these are pre-cooked from Argentina. They tell me that they are caught in the wild. Whether they're lying or not, I will never know. Mussels are already pre-cooked. It's hard to get mussels this time of year. And as you see, it's just bubbling. Just a little bubbles, all you want. You don't want it boiling. Since we're in the later stages of this now, a little bit of salt. I don't put much in it, maybe a teaspoon. I like pepper in it though. So I'll hit that up with some good amount of pepper. Now I add in all my tomatoes in a strainer. Okay. And give it a couple shakes. Okay, add that back in. I just throw everything all in one pot. Be careful. This is where it could get crazy. Let's make sure it's nice. There we go. Ooh, look at that little straggler. Okay. And a little bit of chives. Okay. And some fresh PARM. Okey-dokey. Very simple. You know, I make it the same thing I use for chicken. If the sauce is not your consistency, I usually let it either boil down a little bit more, like not boil, but simmer down to reduce it a bit, and add a little bit of cheese, and it's good to go. But I'm gonna give this a try because I'm starving. I haven't eaten since this morning, and see what it's like. Delicious. So give this a try. If you don't like it, give me a holler. Let me know your address. I'll run over, I'll grab it, and I'll eat it for you. I don't care.